home the very close connections between Bermuda and our neighbour to the north in the city of Boston. Our connections, I think, historically go back to the 1620s, and not many places have connections with Boston going back that far. But the connections today were brought home in the tragic circumstances of the last Boston Marathon. There were 16 runners from Bermuda taking part. 7, for the terrible reasons that we all know, did not get their medal on the day. That wasn't one of the more serious aspects of the day, but it remains a loose end. And Dr. Coyle's generosity and imagination means that this is a loose end of that awful day, which we can tidy up today, and in doing so, not only remember that day, but celebrate the close connections between our two communities. Can I ask you, please, now to stand again, and we'll have a brief moment of silence in memory of that day. Thank you. Please be seated. I'm now going to invite Dr. Coyle to say a few words and to present the medals.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the introduction for hosting this event. Your Excellency, Governor Ferguson, the Honourable Craig Cannier, Premier of Bermuda, the Honourable Wayne Scott, the Honourable Sean Crockwell, Consul General of Bermuda, Robert Settee, Consul General Susie Kitchens, Superintendent Billy Evans, Head of Operations for the Boston Police, Bermuda Runners, and ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here with you today on this beautiful island. Since I visited Bermuda over 25 years ago for the first time, it has held a special meaning for me for the past 7 years, and I've been fortunate to spend a lovely couple of weeks here at the spectacular Great Bay Beach and the Rendezvous Cottage. So when I met Bermuda runners Rosanna McShane and Doug Huey the day after this year's tragic Boston Marathon, I was glad to hear that all the runners from Bermuda were safe, but sorry that 7 had been unable to complete the race. Given that I was already scheduled to be in Bermuda and mentioned that as a governor of the Boston Athletic Association, I would be honored to bring the medals with me to present. And it is from this chance encounter to His Excellency's gracious invitation that we are all here today to recognize not only the 7 runners who were unable to finish the race, but also the Bermuda runners who participated in this year's Boston Marathon. I've been involved with the Boston Athletic Association and the Boston Marathon for the past 40 years. As a governor and former president, the marathon means a great deal to me. The marathon is not only a Boston event, but also a global event, with close to 20% international runners participating. So the tragic event of this year's race greatly affected us all. But I am so proud of how Boston and the world and the running community responded. And although we can never change the tragic outcomes, the incredible outpouring of support and acts of kindness that have happened since and continue to occur has touched us all. To have so many international figures visit Boston to show their support, including the United Kingdom Prime Minister David Cameron's special trip into Boston was so powerful and meaning, and we were all so grateful. The One Fund, which was created to support those directly affected the event and has raised over $30 million, and I thank you and the Bermuda running community for the contributions you made to the fund. As Lali Desaya, the Ethiopian winner of this year's marathon, recently said, "Sport should never be used as a battleground. It holds the power to unify people, allowing them the opportunity to share in their common humanity and to celebrate the richness of the world's cultural diversity." He stated that he and his team would return to Boston to run again next year to show the world that our commitment to sport, our commitment to our freedom, will be stronger than any act of violence. So next year, the Boston Marathon will be stronger than before, and we will all stand with great pride at, once again, the international running community and the people of Boston come together for one of the most exciting sporting events in the world.